Last month, a concert in Perth by the English group Madness saw an unprecedented show of strength by skinheads and punks, groups of youths whose trademark is short hair and heavy boots, and with origins said to stem from the working-class ghettos of Britain. The police were surprised at their numbers and were apparently unprepared for the trouble which broke out. Chairs and windows were broken and several arrests followed. Youth workers later commented that the incident reflected a growing unease among Perth's young people, and the skinheads were branded as violent troublemakers. In the following week, skinheads and punks continued to capture newspaper headlines as they were blamed for one brawl after the other. The skinheads maintained their innocence and claimed they had been provoked. One complaint about a newspaper coverage of one fight resulted in the paper's headlines being changed. At the hub of these skinhead and punk movements in Perth is a punk rock band called The Quick and the Dead. Hotels are reported to be wary of booking the group because of fear of damage caused by their fans. Well, do The Quick and the Dead and their followers deserve this reputation? Do their so-called Nazi decorations suggest some political stance? Reporter Brad Schmidt met up with the band to find out.
You want to get this straight though, like if people want to cause trouble, there will be trouble, but a lot of people don't, and you won't get any trouble if you don't want any when you come to see us.
The Quick and the Dead play raw rock at its loudest. They're a punk band followed by hundreds of skinheads and punk rockers alike. They're often accused of inciting trouble at their gigs, bad publicity which is lost in bookings. All but one of the band members have steady jobs, which is a good thing because these days they play only one show a week.
It's the aggression's in the music, not in the actual band or in any physical means besides the music. It's channeled. We try to channel the aggression through the music. That's the whole idea of it. It's different, it's original.
You don't feel that the aggression in the music perhaps brings out the aggression in the people, the followers?
Yes, it does. It brings out aggression in people to the extent where they'll get on the dance floor and they'll do a pogo or they'll do the worm or something really, really exciting. People get really affected by the music. They come along to the gigs and they get excited, there's no doubt about that. And people can really enjoy themselves.
Last weekend, In Touch attended a Sunday session to see The Quick and the Dead and their followers in action. We were told by the publican we could film the band, but interviews inside were not allowed, nor were we to identify the venue. The atmosphere seemed tense. There was talk of a gang of rockers from Fremantle dropping in, which probably accounted for the presence of some bikies and up to a dozen plainclothes and uniformed police. The skinheads said they were there to have a good time, although what is fun to some may not necessarily be fun to others. The skins and the punks play it rough, but there were no fights, not at least for our camera. We were later advised the hotel had received 2 bomb threats, from whom no one knew. The skinheads could only guess.
Why do you think skinheads attract so much trouble?
Because of the name, I suppose. The thing of, you know, being English, you know, they think, oh, it's all to do with England, you know, violence.
The band itself are quite decent fellows, and the people that follow them around are quite decent chaps. It's the outside influence that comes in that causes the trouble.
What outside influence?
Like people that aren't supposed to be there, you know, that aren't skinheads, they come in and sort of cause trouble with the skinheads, and that they don't cause any trouble themselves at all.
In Britain, they're branded as third-generation misfits, usually unemployed, angry, vicious and violent. Many are self-confessed members of the National Front, neo-Nazis. They are discontented, some say lost to the community forever. In Perth, Western Australia, the skinhead and punk movements are flourishing, but they claim theirs is not the ultra-violent world the media portrays.
If you're sort of classed as a skinhead, even if you've got short hair and even if you haven't got boots, and people are going to beat you up for it, harass you for it, you might as well do it. And then you've got more chance of sticking together, making sort of friends that feel the same as you and dress the same as you and think the same as you. And so these people are just sticking together. It happens in loads of other lifestyles, but this one is more obvious.
What happens when trouble confronts you?
We back up for ourselves. We don't back down, that's for sure. Yeah, we don't always fight. And that's, you know, that's it.
If the skinheads of Perth don't go looking for trouble, then they certainly attract it, though they say their rough, aggro image has been blown out of proportion. Recent brawls at Northam and Steve's Hotel in Nedlands were provoked, they claim, by outsiders, usually their arch enemies, the rockers. But if there's a fight to be had, then so be it. The skinheads admit they'll never run away.
We're a punk band, we're playing punk music, and they can identify with punk music, so they dress as punks. Or else, if they're skinheads, and there isn't much of a difference, I don't think, they might wear jeans, blue jeans instead of black jeans or something. They come along to the gigs as well. The point I want to make is that all these people that come to our gigs, it's not exclusive to them. Our band will play to anybody that wants to come and hear our music, and our gigs aren't violent.
The image of punks and skinheads, short-cropped hair, heavy boots and T-shirts adorned with swastikas is designed to shock. It's their trademark, one they're proud of. It's also their protest at unemployment, degradation of youth, and what outsiders regard as normality. That same image can be hard to live with. A tough reputation or appearance, it seems, has its drawbacks, discrimination being one of them.
Oh, it happens all the time. I think it happens especially to myself and my friends all the time, because people who aren't used to seeing us would pick on us simply because we might look different. And it's just something that we have to put up with all the time. And it annoys me often when I try to go somewhere and I'm not allowed entrance.
It's true. It's
happened to Andy and I on just last Saturday morning. We got kicked out of two pubs on Saturday morning for absolutely no reason at all. We asked why. Was it because we were dressed, you know, did they have rules on dress which we didn't qualify? And they wouldn't make any comment. They just said, the management have said that we're not going to serve you at this bar. You know, get out now.
Gang fights between skinheads and rockers do happen, if only rarely. Who instigates the trouble? Well, the skins and the punks say it's outsiders, and no doubt the outsiders have a different version. The brawls, such as the one in Northam 2 weeks ago, are often vicious. 3 girls, skinheads and punks, were injured after the Northam fight when a rock was thrown through the windscreen of their car. One of the girls is still in hospital, according to some accounts, lucky to be alive. A punk rocker speaks openly about another fight with rockers in Fremantle.
And the rockers just piled into where we're watching a band in the hall. And they just piled in and started fighting. So we didn't start the fight, so we just turned around and just fought back, which is fair, I reckon. It really was. Yeah.
What happened? What was the result?
The result was a few of us getting arrested. You know, a couple chucked in the Fremantle lockup, and that's about it. You know, rockers will let go. But why they picked on the skinheads and the punks, you know, because they looked the meanest, I suppose, or they just didn't like it, you know, or because they were the English people, and that was it.
But if skinheads do admit to a spot of aggro, they scoff at claims that they're racist or members of a national front movement. The swastikas and the Nazi salutes, they say, are just for show.
What the followers want to do is their own business. What we want to do is our business.
Well, I'm talking about your followers.
Yeah, well, see, we can't tell them what to do. We don't really know that much about them.
Well, the wearing of the swastikas by the band or by any of the supporters has got nothing to do with members of the National Front or anything. It's creating an image, which is like people wear jeans to create an image. People wear thongs because they might like that. I might choose to wear boots. I might choose to wear a swastika. It doesn't mean that I've necessarily got any political stance.
The size of the skinhead and punk movements in Perth has been estimated from a few hundred to more than 2,000. The skinheads themselves, Terry, claim there are no more than 500 followers.
And Brad, the phenomenon in Britain was born out of the underdeveloped or the badly deprived industrial areas of the country. Can that parallel be drawn here in Perth?
Well, only in as much as that most are from working class backgrounds, though it's interesting to note that one of the girls injured at Northam gave her address as Peppermint Grove. As for the link with the mother country, well, again, the estimates vary, but roughly half of those in Perth are British-born, the rest are Australians.
Thanks, Brad. Oh, and by the way, the Quick and the Dead have released a record. It's available in Perth. We've had a listen to it here and can say that, well, it's different, and it is available if you'd like to have a listen to the punk music of the Quick and the Dead. It's called Another Violent Night, on sale at record stores.